What's up YouTube, WinterGuard here. Today we're going to look at an early budget build, farming build for the Sorceress, and this is for 2.4 ladder, which is right around the corner by the way. Today, as of today, it is 425. The ladder will drop in 3 days, so pretty excited for that. But I wanted to actually offer up a build that's going to be used probably more for early, as soon as you get up past hell difficulty and are starting your farming runs. The Nova build, again, that's going to be the meta build for endgame farming. Once you get a bit of gear, the Lightning Nova build will be the one that's going to be the quickest for farming areas. But we're going to look at more of a budget build, early game or early farming build, so that you get an idea of what you're looking at when you get into that stage of the game. So what we're looking at, this is going to be an Orb-Hydra build. Now I built this specifically out for Chaos Sanctuary. So the way this thing is actually set up, I actually went more into the Frozen Orb synergy versus everything into Hydra. So where again, this is specific for Chaos, where you'll have one set of mobs basically that are going to be fire immune. So you're going to be mainly pumping out Frozen Orb for your main damage, and then using your Hydra for sniping, and of course Diablo kills, because Hydra is extremely strong on the bosses. So that's going to be where that comes into play. And the reason why I didn't go like Blizzard is because of Frozen Orb not requiring as many synergy points to make it decent. Again, this is going to be a little slow. It's not too bad. I was doing runs in Chaos in probably around 3 to 4 minutes. This is nowhere near as fast as the regular seal popping, which you could do in about a minute, minute and a half. But, I mean, again, this is going to be early game, and the way I set this up, I don't like using the character builder thing that a lot of the content creators use to show their characters. This is my actual live character right now, but she's level 96. So what I did was I set this up so that she's 85. I didn't use 11 skill points, and also I did not use 55 of my stat points. So this is kind of to simulate being at level 85. So what I did was max Frozen Orb, and then the synergy for Frozen Orb is actually Ice Bolt. So I started dumping points here, but the way I did it, I maxed here. We went to, some people say 130, some people go to 100, so I kind of split the difference on the Cold Mastery. You could probably play around with this. I don't really see a need to push this all the way to 130%. But so I kind of split the difference, because there's times where I'll run this at 100 and allocate points somewhere else. Then of course the usual into being able to teleport, and then fire we're looking at. It went all the way, made sure Hydra was max and Fire Mastery was max. That's going to be your two main ones. Then I didn't put any more into the synergies. I mainly did that for Cold first, since that was going to be more of my main attack on Chaos Sanctuary. And for those that the gear is real budget. So here's what we're looking at: a Tarn Helm for a little bit of magic find, +1 skills, easily got an early game. Viper, pretty standard. 2 spirits, which every Sorc by the time you get to this point should have. This is not an unusual to get. The only thing I would say is maybe a little, well, it's still going to be mid-tier. I went with 2-piece towel, which is a belt and the amulet. Now the amulet's probably, out of this whole setup's probably the hardest item to get, but this actually highest drop rate starts at Nightmare and Dariel and goes up from there. So this is not too terribly difficult to put your hands on. Then I went with just a Raven, and I had an FCR ring that I threw on there, and Mage Fist, nothing special there, and War Travs. Now again, people might say something, you're not going to have War Travs. War Travs highest drop rate is Nightmare. So you can put your hands on reward traps. I mean, it's RNG. Maybe you won't get them to drop, but these are not difficult to put your hands on. Everything else, magic find. And the way I set this up is I wanted to just put my magic find at around 250%. This is kind of a nice slot to have your magic find in for farming. Of course, you're going to start lower than that, but 250 is a good number to shoot for. By the time you get to end game farming, you're going to be way over that, but 250 is kind of a good median point. And we're going to show the drops from 100 chaos runs. Now, for the sake of time, I did these. I just mainly seal popped. You're going to want to full clear these runs, but just for time's sake, we're getting close to ladder, and I just wanted to get another video out. I seal pop these, so you're going to see the drops from seal popping, and we'll just kind of go over the results afterwards. If you enjoy this type of video, give me a like and subscribe. I will be streaming more. I've kind of taken a little break, just kind of on the build up for ladder, but once ladder drops, I will be streaming, so check me out on YouTube streaming for that. But let's get into it. Okay, as you can see, the drops weren't too bad. Again, we got to look this at from the vantage point of being early game farming. So a lot of useful items dropped for that. Again, we got 2 Vipers, which was kind of cool. I'm using one of them now. One of them dropped and rolled a 35, so I went ahead and put that one on in to replace the one I was using. Also, we did get a Shaco. Unfortunately, it was ethereal, but you could use it until you get another one. So I don't know what I did with it. I might have left it. But yeah, I mean, you wear if you get an ethereal Shaco, I'm sure that's kind of bad luck. But I mean, you wear it till it breaks. I mean, by that point, you maybe find another one. So not that big a deal there. I didn't put it on. I wanted to keep everything the same for the 100 runs, so I did not replace the magic find from putting the Shaco on. So we left that there. And again, oh, and I wanted to touch base on one other thing. I wanted to show my merc just in case people were questioning that. Mercenary, nothing special here. We got a treachery. Highest rune in this is Lem. Should be easily gotten. And you can do a little bit of farming. You'll come up with a Lem rune. So treachery. This is again. It's not a fortitude. This is treachery. But when fade procs, this really ups resist on the merc. So this is a good starting rune word to use on your mercenary. This is just a Tau mask. I had a couple drop during these 100 runs. I just didn't show them. Tau mask you can get a dime or a dozen. Mainly want it for the life leech. Another good helmet early game with life leech is like Peasant Crown. You can put that on. Oh, excuse me, Crown of Thieves, not Peasant Crown. Crown of Thieves, which has like 12 life leech on it. So I had one of those drop in these 100 runs. Didn't show it either. And then of course we have just an insight. Everybody will have an insight on their merc early on. So the merc, yeah, he did get killed a few times, but early game you got to be careful when you're farming or until you get really beefed up with the gear. There's always a chance of getting gibbed. I did actually get a couple times where I accidentally teleported into the deceased pack around the seal, and he will, if you jump into the middle of that pack, you're just gonna die. So you just got to be careful while you're doing your runs. But again, this is to kind of showcase the early farming build that's going to probably be way more viable. Once you get the gear, Nova's going to be the fastest way to run. But this is probably going to be a really good farming build early on. And you can probably level with this as well. My thoughts are when ladder drops, I'm going to level with fire into Hydra. And then start pulling. Once I get into early hell difficulty, I'll start into the cold with frozen orb. But probably almost all the way through Nightmare, I'll probably be running fire. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be streaming on Thursday. For me, ladder starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I will start. I will be starting on the Sorceress. I have decided it won't be the Paladin. It will be the Sorceress. So that's where we're going to start. I will be streaming at that point. And probably first night, we'll probably stream till I can't stream anymore. And just kind of push it as hard as I can. I will be running solo. Join us on our Discord. If you're looking for teams, there's going to be guys grouping up on our Discord, links in the description. That are going to be teaming up to start ladder. So join us there. Again, if you enjoy this type of video, give me a like and subscribe. But let's get ready for ladder. Keep on farming, guys.